what's going on? This is Shaun of the Dead here. Shooting this video today, especially for one of my friends, Trish. I was chatting with her on Facebook, and I was talking about, oh hey, I was talking about some of the YouTube stuff and all that, and she said she liked watching my videos because they actually had some common sense to them. It wasn't just blabbering on about, hey, I think you should shoot zombies in the head, the end, and how I try to really put realistic situations and people's real reactions and what the emergency systems are going to do, and time frames, and why I think these time frames are going to be as they are, and actually do research into it versus just pulling random numbers and percentages out of the air. So I appreciated that, and I said, hey, is there a particular subject or some information you'd like me to touch on in particular? And she came up with this really, really great idea. And I've heard some other people say some stuff similar before, and I've heard it being touched on, but not mainstream, not like, it's like it gets touched on like briefly in the midst of everything else. The person that I've seen do the most on it, though, is actually the Patriot nurse, because she is a nurse. A lot of people talk about, as far as healthcare and hygiene and how to take care of yourself and all that. But what about people that are on medication? And so that's what we're going to touch base with today is what are you going to do in a zombie apocalypse if you have a physical ailment that you rely on daily medication? What are you going to do? And that's a really good question, and I've seen people touch on it before. On Doomsday Preppers, I saw a truck driver, him and his wife, they take medication, and they would skip a day every ever so often, and that way they can kind of stockpile back their medication a little bit, and so they could have a little bit of medicine on hand. And they were doing that ever so often. I don't know how many days they would skip. They didn't really elaborate, but it was just the way that they think. I work for a psychiatrist, and usually when people come in, the doctor will tell them to come back in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever, for their follow-up appointments, and I set them up in weeks. So if he says come back in a month, I set them up for 4 weeks. He says 2 months, 8 weeks, 3, 12, so on. He gives them 2 extra days per month. The reason I do this is because most people will call and cancel at the last minute. Something comes up and they can't come in for another few days. Well, now they're out of medication. Well, if they're due to be seen and you're on psych meds, the doctor will not give you medication, especially some of the class of medication that he prescribes. He won't give it out until he sees you. They're highly regulated medications. So in that scenario, I give them a couple of days leeway per month, so that way if they're 3 months out and they go, crap, I can't come in for 4 days, no problem. They've got enough medicine to get them through until they can get in. And I do that just as kind of a courtesy because people don't realize emergencies happen. I've had, I don't know how many times, especially here in Texas, people get scared of the ice. So, oh no, the ice storm. Well, so it's icy. We're here, but you're not fine. You don't want to drive in it, but you can't get no meds. Sorry. The doctor still needs to see you before he can give you medication of this caliber. And also, people will have car wrecks. People have car problems. Sick kids at school they have to go pick up. Emergencies happen. Situations, life gets in the way sometimes, and you can't stay on schedule. So you have to prepare for those things in general. And so, and this is just my personal proclivity towards zombie apocalypse and survival instincts as a way of life for me anyway. It carries over into work, and I kind of push that towards people to kind of help them out, give them a little bit of a bump in their favor. It's like, hey, here you go. and that way they have a little bit of cushion. It's always good to have a little bit of cushion. So what I recommend, I don't recommend not following the doctor's orders. If the doctor tells you to take something every day or twice a day or whatever, I recommend following the doctor's orders. That's what I recommend. Listen to the doctor. He knows what he's talking about. He's a doctor for a reason. I'm not, so I can't go there. But what I can tell you is what I've seen on Doomsday Preppers, how they say that they have skipped their medication. Now, if that's a personal choice, if you want to skip your meds, that's completely up to you. I don't recommend doing so because I am not a doctor, and I will not recommend anyone to stop taking their medication that they're required to take by doctor's orders. Will not do that. So, what I will recommend is asking your doctor, if it's okay to skip a day once in a while. You can ask him that. You can also try to fill your prescription a couple of days early. Schedule your appointments 28 days instead of 30 days. And over the course of the time, you might end up with about a month's worth of medication. Now, again, this is still a short fix. This is a Band-Aid on a bullet hole, okay? This is just a temporary fix to a real problem. So what did I do? I went online and I used asthma as an umbrella because that's something that ails a lot of people in general, and something I grew up with as a kid. So growing up as a kid with asthma, I used to carry my inhaler to school, and then I grew out of it and I started smoking like an idiot, and I stopped smoking like, I don't know, 17 years ago or something, a long time ago. 15 years ago. I was like, okay, well, that was stupid. I had asthma and wasn't able to breathe, and what did I do? Oh, hey, I started smoking. That was brilliant. But that was a long time ago. But kids do stupid stuff. But growing up with it, I realized how bad things were and how I had to keep tabs on my inhaler, and I had to use it on a regular basis. Now, coming from that perspective, that's why I used asthma as an example, because I knew that was something I was dependent upon. And I looked up within that fast, I found a website, and I will try to include its link in the description page. It was just for asthma sufferers, not speech impediment sufferers like myself, asthma sufferers, on how to alleviate symptoms of asthma. And it was talking about the coca plant. I was talking about several different things. One of them was like garnish, some sort. Let's see. I can't really see my laptop from this position. There we go. Okay, you got the coca plant. We got where is it? It was funny. Garlic. Leaf of parsley, that's what it was. Leaf of parsley. Now, as I was looking at some of these other ones, the one that really stuck out was the coca plant. The reason that one particularly stood out to me is not because it happened to be the coca plant, is because everything else was something to open up the bronchial tubes a little bit and help relax things. The coca plant actually evidently has something in it that is actually in most inhalers. Didn't know that. So eating chocolate that has high coca in it is actually going to help you out. Oddly enough, if you have that will help you with your asthma. So what you need to do, realistically, is to talk to your doctor, take a course on medicinal plants, and not just in your area first, yes, and then the area that you plan on bugging out to, take a course there on medicinal plants of that area. Then take those medicinal plants, take them to your doctor, let them know exactly what you found out, what you've learned, let them know what you're looking at over long term, and see if it's okay to skip a day of medication and try a daily regimen of this as a supplement and see if you can start utilizing this natural resource as a replacement for your medication. See if you can find something to bring down your blood pressure. See if you can find something that takes care of your asthma. See if you can find something that takes care of like insulin. I mean, I don't know what's out there medicinally. I'm not a medicinal plants guy. I'm not one of those dudes. But right now we live in the information age, and as long as we have computers still up and running, you have fracking Google. Type it in and check it out. Once you take those courses, once you find out this information, gather the actual resources themselves. If you've got to go to your local nursery and see if you can purchase them, then that's fine. And then take them into the doctor and ask if you can start doing these. And if so, show him what the information says. It says, hey, I should take two teaspoons of these with a glass of water mixed up a day, and I should do that, and that should help me with my asthma. So is it okay if I don't take my inhaler and I take this instead? And if this doesn't work, is it okay to go ahead and use my inhaler? Find these things out. Start testing the waters now is what I recommend under your doctor's supervision. Instead of going, oh crap, zombie apocalypse, I got a month's worth of stockpile meds, yay me, now what am I going to do? Raid a pharmacy. Okay, well now you might have 6 months worth of meds, or we'll say a year's worth of meds. Well, frack, you only intend on living for a year after the zombie apocalypse, and that's it? And after that, you're just going to throw your hands up and go, oh, it's time for me to die now. I don't know about you, but I'm not ready to just give up like that. So my recommendation is seriously, learn what plants are out there that can help you, and with the supervision of your doctor, start trying to supplement those plants into your routine now and see if those will actually help. And then that way, if there's a situation where a zombie apocalypse or any other raw happens and you lose your medication, you're no longer on it, you can now go out there and harvest your medication in the wild, and you already know it works because you've already done it with a doctor, and you already know it's safe to do so. So that's my recommendation for people that need medication in a zombie apocalypse, and the best way to go about doing it to protect yourself. I hope this has been a benefit to you. I hope this actually makes some sense. And literally within that fast, I found something on asthma. I didn't look up anything else. I just looked up one thing. And so I just wanted to kind of throw that out there and be like, hey, here you go. This is what you have. And by all means, always try to stockpile your medication. See what the doctor says about some over-the-counter stuff. See if any of that's even a viable option for you. If that's a viable option, you might want to start stocking up on some over-the-counter stuff as well, just to kind of have as a backup, so you can have a few extra months of medication on reserve. And so you use your prescribed stuff. You have however much of that you have stockpiled. Then you use your over-the-counter stuff until that's gone. And then as you move into your medicinal medicine, medicinal plants for your medicine switchover, it should be hopefully a good transition from prescription medication into medicinal medicine from plants. So hopefully that transition can be bridged by over-the-counter medications if you can find something that will work. So just a thought, and always kind of try to keep Tylenol around, Advil, Aleve, that kind of stuff. Things that are anti-inflammatories, things that bring down fevers, those are always going to be good. So again, I hope this was a good bit of information. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this. As always, feel free to comment, add more information that I may not have put in here, or places and links and whatever to find more stuff out. Again, please be respectful of everybody, stay on topic, and as always, subscribe.